Alright, so this will be video 2. Basically, it'll be day 1. What I've done is I just kind of went out and got it nice and hot again, and then came back here and emptied out all the fluids. So that's typically step 1 for me. That's not always necessary. I'm going to be, blacking out a lot of the components on the motor, so they need to be removed, like the motor, but also the primary and the tranny, things like that. So I would have to take all that out anyway, and it's just nice to do it before everything's ripped off and I can get it nice and hot and make sure everything gets out of there as it should. So step 1 for me is that. It's not always a necessary step for everyone, but that's basically what I do. That being said, just have got that done, and then now I'll just kind of start taking it down. And I had planned on just kind of riding this bike for a little bit longer and waiting for parts to come in, but I do have quite a bit of, additional fabrication stuff that above and beyond like what I did on the last one. I just have some ideas for some certain things, so I'm going to go ahead and just start taking it down and get started on what I got to get started. So I'll just keep kind of adding to this, and then this will be the day 1 video. And let's see, I'll just kind of go around here again, just kind of show the bike again. Alright, so it's been a couple hours. As you can see, I've just started taking things off here. One thing I did want to mention that I completely forgot again, and when you have these big tanks, it's on these Softails, maybe even the Dynas or touring models, when you're taking them off, there's a crossover because of the high tunnel, and you want to get as much fuel out as possible. This is the second time that I've now forgotten. It is a real pain in the ass getting the fuel out with these Harley petcocks that are, vacuum functioned. Basically, you got to remove it now, either sucking it out through the cap, or what I'll have to do is get it out through the crossover. It's just a pain in the ass, but I've done it before and I made a mess, so this time I'll at least know what I'm doing. But just wanted to mention that. In regards to everything else, that's basically the reason the tank's still on. Once that comes off, all the electrical hookups and everything are under there, so I'll start being able to get off, everything that's on the handlebars and all that. You can see the console's off already. I don't know that there's a right way or wrong way to kind of start. If it's just going down to the frame, I don't think it really matters in what procedure you go. Taking apart the motor and things, it's a little bit different, but on this, I don't really think it matters. But I usually start in the rear and get the fender off, the struts, all the tail lights, the belt guards. I took the battery out, obviously, got that, the coil, plugs, the horn. Let's see, what else did I do? All the rear pegs, the air cleaner, the front fender. I bled the front and rear brakes. Again, that's something that's not necessary to do if you're fine with the braking system you have or whatever. With me, I'm actually changing both brake lines. Well, the whole front, I'm actually only going to be using the front caliper, and then the rear, I just need to change the brake line. I'm actually changing the master cylinder on that as well. So yeah, basically I'll just be using the calipers on these, and then that is about it. So I will update again in a couple more hours. Okay, so it's been like another hour. The tank wasn't as big of a problem as I thought it was going to be. I had a lot less fuel than I was thinking in there, so I was able to kind of just cock it back up, get it off the bike, and then drain it out. So I just came across something though that I kind of wanted to show. Once you get the tank off, that's basically where all the electrical is down in this area. And you'll come across this a lot. This one has a tachometer in it, and you can see where the guy had wired this in here. So doesn't appear to be a very good wiring job, but to get this all apart now, I have to take this off and get the wiring down, and then make a note of or fix it right now. The connections themselves are all pretty simple. You guys, if you're looking at these, you probably know that by now. You've gone through that, but I just wanted to show that, and then I'll update again a little bit. Alright, so it's been another hour or two. And I'm basically probably calling it quits for the day. I'm just getting a little bit tired. But I got the exhaust off. I actually pulled the carb. See that over here. I got all the electrical and everything out of the way off the handlebars. I left the clutch on right now, which I probably will remove, and remove the whole front end. I'll probably get up tomorrow and do that, or the following day. All the electrical that's here, just kind of tucked it back into this area. I still got to get rid of this and get this off of here, get the front end off, get the pegs off, the rear braking system, and yeah, the foot controls on this side, and then I'm pretty much ready to start getting going. I might pull the oil bag off, and then can kind of start get going. So that'll probably be it for this first video, and I'll just start whatever I do else from here. I'll put on the next video. We got a little bit of a second wind, so I came back out here and pretty much just tore down the rest of what I had. Now this will be the end of day one, so now basically when I come back, there's a few other little things need to come off, and then I can really start doing the frame modifications, rebuilding the front end. I still got to wait for the tires in again to get a stance or anything, but basically this is just kind of the end of day one. I just wanted to show, kind of going over, got the whole front end off, bars, risers, the complete front end. Got the pegs off, got the brake disconnected to the rear. So, some of the plastic stuff's got to come off still. This thing's got to come off still. But basically, we're pretty much down to bare bones, with the exception of the rear wheel and swing arm still being on, like I said previous, why I'm leaving that on for now. So, keep an eye out for the next video, maybe the next couple days or so. Hopefully I'll be out here tomorrow or the following day, and we'll get to work on some of the frame here.